All right, thank you very much, Naledi. As you can see here, the police presence extremely heightened up now as a result of the visuals that we showed you just a few moments ago, in where police had been firing rubber bullets and stun grenades as well. More police officers bringing some of their weaponry in, trying to bring the situation under control here. Lots of tear gas at this particular stage here. Police have been trying to go inside the hostel. They've been running battles here between the protesting residents here at the Diepkloof hostel, and you know that they've been protesting over a lack of services, they say, ablution facilities, also some of what they say, some of the houses that are falling apart in this area. Police have been trying to go in here, and at this particular stage, I think this, what certainly looks like police had not yet effected any arrests. It seems like police, I'm going to ask you as the team to please stay with me as police are trying to bring the situation out of calm here. They've been consistently in various areas where there had been some of the pockets of or sporadic incidents of violence that have taken place in the blockading of roads. This is what police have been doing here in trying to ensure that they bring back a sense of normality. The road here, as we showed you earlier, as they've been, dispensing that tear gas and also firing those rubber bullets, these police officers right here behind me are trying to ensure that this particular part here where we are, which is not too far from the hostel at this stage, you'd see much more earlier than what we saw. We're going to try and stay a bit away from where we are as a result of the fact, all right, they're going to move towards this direction. We're going to try and move out of the way at this stage. And police have been trying to move into this area quite significantly, because you'll find that every time that police officers and the protesters are caught in running battles between each other, and I'm talking about police firing, and also at this particular stage the residents been flinging stones at them, they've indicated that they're going to move into the hostel at this stage, because every time they face off, then you would have the police officers or in fact the residents at this stage running towards the hostel or running inside. That is an area where the police have been trying to push them back into, precisely because at this particular stage, all right, they'll move towards here, and you'll see that this is the second police nyala that has been brought into this particular area. If we move towards here, you will see that this nyala had been patrolling one of the other areas. They are now trying to see if they can move from here to another area, which is on the other side. Traffic had also completely come to a standstill here. Very difficult to try and maneuver through this particular area here, precisely because once there are, incidents that have been, reported at one area, they will then move back from where we are to the other as well. We're going to try and move while this police nyala is here. Another is headed towards that direction, trying to ensure that the protesters are not going to move towards this very busy area of the Chris Hani Road. That was the road that was barricaded this morning. You would know that is one of the entrance points into and out of Soweto. So cars had to be moved back there. There had been concerns that there would be, some of the violence that would then spill onto that main road. So at this particular stage, police, you'd hear, I'm not sure at this point, if you'd be able to hear some of the shots that are going off from where we are. While those shots are going off, that is inside the hostel. Very difficult to try and get into that particular space right now, because as police try to push them back into the hostel, you'll see on the other side, and also here is where police have been, and they have indicated that they are obviously going to try and restore some calm. The Johannesburg Metro Police Department, who we had spoken to much earlier on, had indicated, of course, that police were going to remain in this area as a result of the action that we have been seeing that has been ongoing. You would know that this has been taking place now for 3 weeks, and these residents say over that 3 weeks, nothing has happened. Nothing has happened at this stage in terms of anyone senior coming to address them. If we're talking about, for example, anyone from government, the local government, to try and assist with the situation here. So that police nyala, I'll ask my colleague Neo to try and zoom in there. That is where these police officers are trying to move them away from this particular area, which is incredibly busy. But it certainly seems like the tensions at this particular stage are far from over. And there you go, more stones being put in the middle of the road. Now come with me. And then, right, take a look as that police nyala is moving towards this direction. More stones. So every time they try to defuse the situation at one part, they move the police nyala charging towards them again at this stage. And every time that happens, they run back inside the hostel. And that is an area that police have not managed to go in. More stones being flung at that police nyala. If you just take a look, it will then move again. We're going to try and get out of the way. There you go. More stones being flung at that police nyala as it moves away from this particular area. This has been the case of what has been transpiring here. More stones consistently being flung. And not much safe from here. Let's move towards that area. And you'll see where police were, they've now moved away from there. And it will then be a continuation of what we saw. A continuation of what we saw in terms of more of those stones being put in the middle of the road. And that is certainly how things have unfolded here since the very early hours of this morning. Residents, again, in case there are some viewers that are joining us at this time, the concerns have been, breaking news at this time, is that you have rubber bullets, stun grenades, as well as tear gas being fired on protesting residents here in Diepkloof. And picking up more stones, closing. Take a look, some of those vehicles also being threatened at this particular point. We're really hoping we're going to be able to continue broadcasting here, because the situation itself a little bit volatile in that we also need to try and remain safe at this particular point. But the situation itself a bit tense. Breaking news at this hour, where you've had stun grenades as well as tear gas and rubber bullets being fired here in Diepkloof in Soweto, where the situation certainly remains very tense. Police have now occupied the area way on the other side. All right, way on the other. It looks like they're going towards the street again. Let's go with my colleague. It seems like it's going to be an all-day affair where we go up and down. We're going to try and move towards this particular area. This car also being turned back at this particular stage. See these cars being turned away from here. It's very difficult for any of these cars to make their way past this particular area. And right, a stone being thrown. There's a stone being thrown. At this stage, we're going to try and move back. Bible! Aye! All right, wow! Now the media is also now being thrown with stones. We're going to try and make a way. Stones being flung at this particular stage. All right, stones being flung at this particular stage, even at the media at this particular point. The situation is very tense here where we are, and I'm going to ask my colleague. All right, I think we'll let it go for you at this particular stage. Are we off? All right.